Hi, we're Kev and Emma. 18 months ago we started a new adventure and bought a 57-foot narrowboat called Ripple. Why not join us and watch our highs and lows, the renovations and changes we've made, the clever storage that's been created, and find out what it's really like living and working full-time aboard a narrowboat with 2 dogs while exploring the waterways of our beautiful country.
Hi, so we've just dropped Aaron at Tring railway station, which is just along the road, along the bridge behind us. He's heading back home because he's got a hospital appointment tomorrow, and we came back to the boat and we were going to continue our journey to the reservoirs, because we thought Kev's been on holiday this week, but he hasn't really had a holiday, have you, babe?
No, we just moved the boat, so tomorrow...
A lot,
yes. So tomorrow, or tonight, we can get Tring reservoirs and an official day on the reservoir.
that's the plan. That's the plan. The only trouble is, got back to the boat, turned the engine, and it started beeping at us. What's the matter?
Alternator belt snapped. It's only the little one that charges the starter battery, but
however,
it just beeps all the time, so I'm not doing... We've got 6 locks to go down now. I'm not doing 6 locks with that thing going beep, 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 beep. No, so we're going to change that now. It's been heading out, to be honest, for probably 2 weeks now, and I know it's been going. I was just hoping it'd last till we get to Braunston, one less thing to do while we're on our epic 100-lock journey from Brentford to Teddington, but it hasn't. It's given up the ghost, but...
And although it's a little belt,
you have to take the main belt off as well,
to get to it.
and that's a pain in the arse.
So,
But
I mean, there's a good opportunity for Kev to film a little bit of maintenance.
it only
for
takes
you.
me 20 minutes. 20 minutes, half an hour, we'll be done and on our way again, so...
So here we go. This is an unplanned episode of Kev Fixes It.
Well, Emma's going to film it because I can't film with one hand and do stuff. Yeah. So, that's new belt. That's old belt. Definitely don't work. You can actually see the wear on it. It's a fraction of the size in diameter as well, and bits just flick off it, but they don't last forever. I've normally, on the beaters, you've got the alternator belt that charges your starter motor, and then the drive belt one, this bigger one, alternator belt, charges the leisure batteries. The little ones do tend to go, and the big ones do go, but the little ones go more. I don't know why.
But we have had that one a while, haven't
We've had
we?
it quite a long time. We changed brands and went, for those of you that know, you get 2 different types of belt. One's a tooth belt like that, and the other one's like a V shape, but it's solid. Our engines seem to chew through them like mad, so we've swapped to a V-shaped one, and that's lasted ages, hasn't it?
Yeah, well, we were in Bradford. Yeah, it was when we left the marina.
Yeah, when we left
So
Cane Hill
April?
Marina, I did a service
May?
on the... Yeah,
No, not May.
June.
No, March.
March
time.
I did a full service on the engine then, didn't I? And I
Yeah.
changed it then, so it's lasted quite a while. All you got to do is this belt goes around this bottom pulley down here and round here, but you've got to get it on. So that belt's clearly in the way because it goes round that pulley, round that pulley, round that pulley, and then round that big bottom one. But obviously you can't put it on like that because there's a big belt in the way.
And what does that big belt do?
That one charges the leisure batteries. So this big one on the drive, that charges leisure on a big upgraded alternator, and that little alternator, that charges the starter battery just to start the engine. Like an engine.
And that's the one that's gone?
That's the one that's gone, yeah.
Okay.
So we've got to take that off, which is a locking nut underneath, that nut there, which loosens it, these 2 nuts here, bash that down, take it off, put the new belt on that one, tighten that up, and then put that back on, tighten that up, and then we're good to go.
Cool, okay. Well,
So
off you go.
just crack those 2 nuts there, which is for, if you want to know, is a 19mm spanner.
What's the engine we've got?
Beta Marine 43. So what a lot of people do is untighten this tensioner like so all the way, and then wonder why it doesn't move, but you can't see it, and I can't actually show you. There's a, through this pin here, there's a bolt nut the other side, which holds it tight as well. So it's tightened by that and by that. That locks it. So you've got to undo that one first. Sorry, if you watch Same Ship Different Day, Sonia did a service or had a belt problem and she found the same thing. She couldn't figure out why it wouldn't move. It was only because I think the second, third week I'd had the boat, it snapped, and a bloke showed me how to do it. So that's the only reason I knew of, was I'd have been in the same situation Sonia was on Same Ship Different Day, not quite working out why the hell it wasn't opening. You loosen this off. Unfortunately, it has to go quite a bit. This bit is a hard bit. Once you've got it down, you take this belt off, and that comes off like that, and you can see
that's pretty good condition
since March. So
yeah.
that's not too. This little alternator one is the size spanner that nobody ever has, 12mm. Who has 12mm spanners? No one has a 12mm spanner.
Oh really?
Yeah. So we'll undo that. Pull that alternator back up there. Time. I always check that, I don't know, is there a direction they go? You tell me. If there's never anything on it, so all I ever do is look at the pictures, whatever way the car faces, I try and go. But this one's got a car going that way and that way, so
it's not helping.
It doesn't help, so it's just going on, whatever way's right, wrong or different. I don't think there is a way, but I might be wrong. So, bit of a top tip. If you put it around the bottom pulley first, and then over that pulley, you really struggle getting it over this one because it's got a bigger lip. Put it on the bottom pulley, round that one, and then on this one, because that, I think that is the water pump pulley. It goes over that little lip smaller. It just seems to go over easier because it's just bloody tight. And now what you need is a belt tensioning tool. Insert said belt tensioning tool, aka pin, in the back of the alternator. Belt shouldn't turn more than about halfway, so that's probably about perfect. And holding the tension on, tighten up said bolt. Don't do it too tight. It's only in cast metal, so it'll probably snap off. They do wiggle loose with the vibration of the engine, but if you do engine checks every time you start your engine, you test your belts anyway, so you'd know. So that's that one back on.
The little one's done.
Now to get the big one back, really easy. Onto the bottom pulley, onto the top pulley. Now we've got, I think it's 6 ridges. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ridges. But the head of this pulley has 8 grooves, so I just make sure it's in the middle. Now it's exactly the same what I did forward, but reverse. On a service, when I do a service in a few months' time, kind of ready for winterish, I will normally change both belts just because it's done. But this belt is a Continental something or other, and it claims it's got a 10-year guarantee. So I'm testing that theory, if it's got a 10-year guarantee or not. I'm going to see actually how long it lasts and then write to Continental and say it didn't last 10 years. Sorry, it snapped.
Well, if it's got a guarantee, surely they'll replace it.
I don't know.
We'll wait and see.
So same process, turn it about half a turn. It's probably no more than half a turn really. You don't want to, it really tight, you know it. That was really hard for me to push. Should be able to just twist it. No more than half a turn really. So I'm going to give that one more crack. Half turn. Don't forget the all important locking bolt at the back. Yeah, don't forget these 2 bolts here which allow the alternator to swing. They would be the ones you would undo if you wanted to take the alternator off and change it.
And we've got a super big alternator. That alternator there, why is that so big?
Because I wanted a bigger alternator on it so that I could charge the batteries faster, thus using less diesel.
So the leisure, that's for the leisure batteries.
Yeah. So this alternator puts amps into the leisure batteries faster than the old alternator. So therefore, if we do, when we do, which is
in the winter
mainly, if we do need to run the engine, whereas to go from maybe 40% up to 100% might take 3, 4, 5 hours. It takes us an hour and a half, 2 hours, and it's charged.
Yeah.
And that is it.
Perfect. Well done. That was really quick, to be fair. So while Kev puts everything back together again so that we can get cruising, his top tip is to make sure we've always got spare belts. Kev's one that'll have 2 or 3 spare belts, but always make sure that you've got a spare one. Once we use one, we tend to buy another one to replace it. A bit like your gas bottles, really. It's the same with the gas bottles. We've got 2 gas bottles. As soon as one is empty, we can replace it, but we also make sure we buy a new one. And it's the same with the belts, because then it means you're never caught out and never stranded anywhere. Moment of truth.
Moment of truth is, does it work? Should do.
Ta-da!
No squeaking.
Right, okay, we're ready to go now.
Ready to go, take 2.
Kev's hot and sweaty, bless him.
Hot and sweaty.
And even started.
I need some kitchen roll to wipe my mess.
Right, here we go then.
So we're on the move again after our little belt change. I think Em said to you, top tip, always have spare belts. We have 3 of each belt at all times. Purely just because I'm anal and got OCD, so things breaking and not moving.
They're like tea bags, isn't
They're like tea bags. We've got a deal that when Em moved on the boat,
I'm not exaggerating. He had 4 boxes of tea bags. 4 boxes of like 240.
2 boxes.
No, it was 4 boxes. To the point where I said, "Oh, you haven't got room for all of this tea. I'll take some home." And literally, he went, "No."
I would sacrifice clothes space, shoe space, any space. But if I run out of tea bags, that's it. World's over. So I made a deal with them that no matter where we were, if she allows us to run out of tea bags, no matter how far the shop could be 15 miles away, she's on her toes and walking and getting them, because I'm not doing anything in the morning unless I've had at least 2 cups of tea, and I drink big mugs of tea.
So we have a tea caddy full of tea. We have a Kilner jar, a large Kilner jar full of tea, and we have a box in the cupboard, and that's it. Once the box is gone, we replace the box. I
don't think that's unreasonable at all. Em's got problems with this, but I don't. I have no problems with it.
With 4 boxes taking up space in the much needed space, because you know we don't have a lot of space in our kitchen.
But you always need a plan for a plan. Always have a backup plan for your plan. So that's mine. And the belts, seriously though, the belts, if one of your belts goes, it's not the end of the world. Obviously you can still drive the boat, and you just got to put up with blooming beeping all day long. And like where we are now, where are we? Marsden?
No, Tring.
Tring, near Tring.
Near Tring.
There's nothing round it. There was a marina back there.
Not even a shop.
I don't know if there's a chandlery in there or anything. You then get an Amazon deliveries, you're waiting days for that to turn up, so it's just a pain in the bum. And literally the belts are so, not cheap, but they're not a lot of money, you know.
I think also because we don't have a car,
so we can't go nowhere.
So it's much more difficult. It's not horrendous, but it's more difficult to get hold of things quickly. If you've got a car that you bunny hop, you can just jump in the car and go and get a belt, not a problem. But whereas it's not as easy for us. So you know, as much as I joke, I'm totally with Kev in that you know, for us, and it makes complete sense.
We have stuff like spare oil filters, fuel filters, air filters, spare oil, stuff like that, because I do like to service the engine probably every 6 months. If we've hammered it a lot, then I will do it a little bit more regularly than that. Or certainly just do an oil change on it. So I just like to have lots of spares.
He means we've done a lot of cruising, not we've hammered the engine as in we've gone really fast.
No, God, we don't go very fast. No.
But yeah.
No, I got moaned at the other day by a boat behind us that I wasn't going fast enough. But so yeah, top tip: carry spare belts, because you never know, like that, when you're going to need them. So the wind has got up somewhat now, as we think you might be able to see by the trees. But Emma's doing a sterling job, but that's not what hit record for. We are coming up on our left. Where's my finger? Over there. We'll do some more in a minute, but that is the Aylesbury arm of the Grand Union. We're not doing that today, mainly because we just don't have the time. So we'd have loved to have done it, but we just haven't got time to fit all this in, have we? So if you look at boat times, or Danny and Joe's, they've both been there. Looks really nice, friendly people in place. So that would be nice to go and spend a couple of days down there, but not to be. We need to press on because we've got our first lock of 6 coming up.
So the arm that we've just come up to is not actually the Aylesbury arm, it's the Wendover arm. And the Wendover arm's closed. We knew that because actually on the Canal, Open Canal app, it said that it was closed. It's open to boats less than 40 foot, I think.
Yeah.
But we certainly can't go down there. So we hadn't planned on going down there anyway. But we've hit a bit of a problem.
The top lock here that starts going down closes at 3 o'clock, apparently. And because something's wrong with the next lock down, so they're doing it restricted hours with volunteers between 9 and 3. So we're not going to get
in our tracks.
We're not going to get to the reservoirs tomorrow for my final day off of my holiday.
Well, we are going to get there, but we're not going to get there with enough time for you to fish. But I suggest that we stay tomorrow night and you do Saturday fishing, and then we can always cruise Saturday evening, a couple of hours.
Yeah. How annoying.
So yeah, so we literally got right to the lock gates. I'll just show you where that is. The lock gates are just there, and this lovely lady on this boat here said to us, it's locked. So we've had to moor up on the lock landing. There was nowhere else
to go
for us to go because behind us is chock-a-block, absolutely chock-a-block. I mean, Kev did a brilliant job because we had aimed for the lock landing over the other side. So the plan was we were going to get off there and do the lock. So the boat was pretty much at that angle with its bottom, its stern, pointing down towards the Wendover. So he did a brilliant job to kind of, with this wind against him, to get the stern back over and reverse back here. That's it, we're done. So we're just going to chill out, get up early and get going tomorrow. There's always a plan B.
Well, good morning. It is, I don't know what day it is, Friday morning. And we've just come down 2 locks. We didn't have time to record, we were just getting the boat ready. CRT turned up and went, come on then, let's get you through. Oh, okay. Didn't have the cameras on or anything, so apologies for that. But that lock there is the one on the flight that's broken. So you have to pull up to it, turn your engine off, get dragged through, because that gate that side is knackered. They're repairing it apparently in a few days time, so they're not letting anyone just bundle on through, so you've got to come through nice and slowly. We're going to do, what was that, 1 2 3 4 5, another 3, possibly 4 to get to where we want to be by the reservoirs. But what you do tend to forget on the going down locks is how tranquil you just lower in the lock, rather than when you're going up and you're on your own, you're going doink, doink, doink. So it's quite a pleasure going down in these locks for a change rather than up. So quite enjoying this. Nice sunny day, Friday morning. Life's good. So this is lock number 4 that we're on, and we've been going less than an hour. Emma is up there, and the lovely lock volunteer is up there, and her husband is doing the top locks, and there's 3 volunteers on today, so we are absolutely flying through today. We were hoping we'd be down by about 12 o'clock, but it looks like we'll be down within the next like 40 minutes, an hour. It's nice and easy today. Sun's out, beautiful blue sky, look at that. Boats. But I can't actually remember where I was going with that one. Oh, hammering it. So we don't hammer it anyway, so it's...
You have a little menopause.
I did have a menopause moment bit going on then, and they'll always go at the most awkward time, because if we don't get to the Tring reservoirs tonight...
That's not easy for you to say,
It's not easy for me to say. It's
Try
like
again.
Tring reservoirs.
Reservoirs.
Reservoirs. It's like when we all knew the millennium was coming, I couldn't say it. Millennium. Oh, I couldn't say millennium.
But yeah, so we've had the wind take,
Yeah. It's got
take
a
the
bit
gimbal.
windy.
Ooh, it is very windy. So yeah.